or Lymphopoiesis. Now class, as you recall in the introduction to hematology, we have your two types of WBC, your granulocytic and agranulocytic WBC. So our first topic would be the granulocytic series. Okay class, always remember the first type of cell always has the word blast. So for your granulocytic series, we have your myeloblast. Your myeloblast has a size of 10 to 20 micra. It is round or oval. Its nucleus is round or oval and has abundant chromatin and sparse chromatin. It also has 2 to 5 nucleoli. Now class, if you recall, our discussion yesterday, yung criteria how to know if a cell is mature, is young or mature. Remember class, if the cell has many nuclear materials, it means that the cell is young. Bata siya. So sa case nito class, it even has 2 to 5 nucleoli. Then you also need to take note of the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is sparse, meaning onte. Thus, you have a nucleus to cytoplasm ratio of 5:1 to 7:1. Sobrang laki class nung area na sinasakop ng nucleus nyo compared sa cytoplasm. This is often seen in young cells. Then, it is deeply basophilic, may RNA content, and no granules. So again, class, ulitin ko, your myeloblast has a size of 10 to 20 micra, round or oval. Then, it has a lot of nuclear material. It has abundant chromatin and sparse parachromatin. Then, it also has 2 to 5 nucleoli. So, yan yung itsura niya. Tapos may 2 to 5 nucleoli siya. Yan. Then, yung abundant chromatin niya, kasi yan yung itsura niya na parang mga lines na ano. Then, also has your sparse chromatin. Yun yung nasa gilid. Okay, it has an NC ratio of 5:1 to 7:1. Any questions for your myeloblast class? Alright, let's go to the next one. We have your pro-myelocyte, also known as your pro-granulocyte. Remember class, you have the suffixes pre and pro. So pro meaning your next. Now, pro-myelocyte is the next stage after your myeloblast. It has a size of 14 to 20 micrometer. It is also round or oval. The nucleus is also large. Can be round, it can also be oval. It has a thin nuclear membrane and network-like chromatin. It has 1 to 3 nucleoli and can appear pale blue. So class, when you compare the nucleus with your myeloblast, you start to notice that there is a decrease in the nuclear material. The reason for this is because the cell is starting to mature. Okay? So from 2 to 5, naging 1 to 3 na lang yung nucleoli niya. Then the cytoplasm is still sparse, onti pa rin, but it has a nucleus to cytoplasm ratio of 5:1 na lang. Then we have your few purplish granules that may be large and round or fine. Okay? So any questions for this class? Now, before I proceed to the next, I have a question class. Sa tingin nyo, which part of the slide would you memorize? Bawa gusto nyo mag-aral, magre-review kayo for the quiz. Ano yung mga parts na ipaprioritize nyo aralin? Nga, can anyone type? Anong idea nyo? Anong una nyo aralin, class? Or you would prioritize in studying or memorizing? the size, the color, characteristics of nucleus, the number of nucleoli. Okay, plus. Okay. Okay. So class, here's a tip. If you're gonna review this, you need to memorize the second name. Yung mga erythrocytes nyo may second name yun. You have to memorize the shape. Then you have to memorize specific details sa nucleus. I'll give you an example on that later. Itong mga to, you don't have to memorize yung mga ganyan, but you just keep them in mind. You also have to memorize kung may nucleoli sila o wala. Then if may color. Then you memorize the NC ratio, class. Always memorize this. This is very important. Then you have to take notes sa cytoplasm kung may granules. So again, ulitin ko, the things you need to take priority when you're reviewing the life stages of hematopoiesis is the name or the other name, the shape of the cell. Madalas naman yan, class, pag young yan, it's either round or oval lang naman. Defining characteristics ng nucleus, if meron. Katulad nito, wala namang kakaiba dyan. It's the same. Then kung may nucleoli siya or wala. Then kung may kulay, color of the nucleoli, you memorize that also. Yung NC ratio, you memorize that. Then yung cytoplasm, if may mga granules or may mga important words na kailangan. Okay. Next, let's go to your myelocyte. So after your myeloblast, your promyelocyte, wala na yung prefix na pro, you have your myelocyte. So class, your myelocyte has a size of 10 to 18 micra, round or oval in shape. So pansin nyo lahat ng shape nila, round or oval. The nucleus has indistinct thin nuclear membrane with irregular patches of pink staining parachromatin. So class, if the question sa quiz nyo is, what cell has a nucleus with irregular patches of pink staining parachromatin, your answer would be your myelocyte. Okay. Then identify nyo rin if it has a nucleoli. In case of myelocyte, wala siyang nucleoli, it is absent or invisible. Then sa cytoplasm, your cytoplasm is starting to become moderate in amount. The nucleus to cytoplasm ratio is 2:1, and there is the presence of large purplish blue granules. Again, class, the things to take note of your myelocyte. Myelocyte has a nucleus with irregular patches of pink staining parachromatin. Your myelocyte also has a cytoplasm with large purplish blue granules. So if you have your handouts, you can underline those keywords para madali silang tandaan. Okay, let's go to your next slide. Any questions? Wala? Okay. So after your myelocyte, you have your myeloblasts, your promyelocyte, your myelocyte, then we add the other prefix. We have your metamyelocyte. This is also known as your juvenile cell. Juvenile meaning bata. Has a size of 10 to 18 micrometer. The nucleus can be kidney-shaped, with heavy nuclear membrane and scanty parachromatin. So class, if the question is the cell in your granular series with kidney-shaped nucleus, your answer is your metamyelocyte. And the nucleus is absent or invisible. Na-notice nyo class, nawawala na yung mga nuclear material and nuclear parts ng cell. Dati from 2 to 5 na nucleolus, now it's absent or invisible. Then you have to take note of also the cytoplasm. Sobrang dami na siya or fairly abundant with a nucleus to cytoplasm ratio of 1.5:1 and has a pink cytoplasm. This is where the stage where granules are starting to form. Your granules can become eosinophilic, basophilic, neutrophilic, and metamyelocyte is smaller than myelocyte. Again, just a quick review. Your metamyelocyte is the cell with a kidney-shaped nucleus. With a kidney-shaped nucleus, like underline that. It has a cytoplasm, nucleus-cytoplasm ratio of 1.5 to 1 with a pink cytoplasm. Metamyelocyte is also the stage where the granules start to form. They can be eosinophilic, basophilic, and neutrophilic. And lastly, your metamyelocyte is smaller than myelocyte. So usually class, ang pagkakaalam natin, when something matures, when something becomes mature, they usually become larger. Pero sa case nito, metamyelocyte becomes smaller than your myelocyte. Any questions, class? Okay. We have next your band granulocyte. Class, please kindly write this down. The most common young WBC found in the peripheral blood is your band granulocyte. Again, the most young WBC. The most young or immature WBC found in the peripheral blood. Found in the peripheral blood. Can you write that down? Its nucleus can appear sausage, band-shaped, horseshoe with deep blue chromatin. Again, nucleolus is absent or invisible. Now, your cytoplasm, we have an NC ratio of 1:2. Mas malaki na si cytoplasm. Class, remember in your granulocytic series, meron silang mga granules. Each granules have a characterized color, bawat granulocyte. So first, for your neutrophil, they are characterized by fine lilac granules. For your eosinophil, they are characterized by brick red granules. Pag basophil, they are characterized by blue to black granules. This appears as small hollow spheres, yung mga cytoplasmic inclusions, and can be seen in the peripheral blood. Okay. Any questions, class? None? Then you have your last life stage of your granular. We have your segmented granulocyte. The size is 10 to 15 micron. Nucleus can be segmented or lobulated. The cytoplasm is abundant with an NC ratio of 1:3 with specific granules. Okay. Any questions, class, before we proceed sa lympho or sa granular series? Okay, let's have a quick recap. The life stage of your granulocytic series that has 2 to 5 nucleoli. That's the answer, class. Very good. It's your yellow. How about it is the life stage of the granular series with irregular patches of pink staining parachromatin. What stage? Very good. It's your myelocyte. It is smaller than your myelocyte. It is smaller than your myelocyte. Very good. It's your metamyelocyte. Okay. Describe to me the color of your neutrophil granules. What is the color like? Okay. Describe to me the color of your eosinophilic granules. How about your basophil? How about large blue to black? Very good. It is the cell, the number one cell, that immature cell found in the peripheral blood. Alright, very good. Sure. And granules. Alright. Let's proceed now, class, to your granulocytic series. Again, most cells start with the stage with a blast, with the word blast at the end. So for your granulocytic series, class, you have your lymphocyte and your monocyte. First, we're gonna deal with your lymphocyte. For lymphocyte, class, the first stage is your lymphoblast. Your lymphoblast, class, is either absent in the bone marrow or can be present but in small numbers. It has a size of 10 to 18 micra. The nucleus, like all young cells, are round or oval and can centrally be located. May nucleoli siya, class 1:2, small and pale. Now, your cytoplasm is homogeneous and moderately to heavily basophilic. Nakita mo siya, class, para siyang kapatagan, flat, pantay-pantay. It has an NC ratio of 5:1 to 7:1. There is no granules. Okay. Now we have your pro-myeloblasts. Again, we also have the suffix, the prefix pro. Size 10 to 18 micra and is smaller than your lymphoblasts. The nucleus can be round or oval, more clumped than lymphoblasts, and can be fine and to dark, and has the color dark red purple. Fine and has the color dark red purple nucleus. Nucleoli is usually one. It is round blue and sharply outlined. Cytoplasm, class, is more abundant. Ang bilis, class, no? Dumami kagad yung cytoplasm niya. The NC ratio is 5:1. Light blue to medium dark blue. Occasionally with azurophilic granules. So again, class, your pro-myeloblast is smaller than your lymphoblast. The nucleus, the pro-myeloblast nucleus, has a fine and has a color dark red purple. The cytoplasm can be colored light blue to medium dark blue and can be seen occasionally with azurophilic granules. Then we're finally to the last stage, the lymphocytes. Class, there are three types of lymphocyte. You have your small, your medium, and your large. Your small lymphocyte has a size of 6 to 8 micrometer. Class, small lymphocyte is the one responsible for the production of your antibodies. Since it is responsible for the production of your antibodies, what we call this cell? Or rather, siya yung nag-stimulate ng plasma cell to produce antibodies. What we call this cell? Anong other name niya? It stimulates the plasma cell to produce antibodies. What we call that? It's B cells. Class, the other name for your small lymphocyte is your B cells. Okay, and then medium, then large. Class, yung lymphocyte nyo, nucleus can be round or oval, deeply indented with large coarse chromatin. Nucleoli, one may be seen in the larger cells but are usually absent. Cytoplasm, class, is colored sky blue with occasional azurophilic granules in large or medium lymphocytes. Okay? Any questions? Alright, let's proceed now. Class, I will be including the plasma cell. Since your B cells stimulate the production of your plasma cells producing antibody, we will discuss that. This is known as your plasmocytic series. This is stimulated from your small lymphocytes or your B cells, not usually seen in the peripheral blood, responsible for the production of immunoglobulin. So we have for the plasmocytic series, we have your plasmablasts, which is 8 to 20 micrometer. Nucleus is round or oval and can be bluish purple. Nucleoli is difficult to discern. Cytoplasm class, again, remember this is the granulocytic. Wala silang granules, non-granular, blue, mottled, and moderate in amount class. Kasi when you say mottled, yun may mga butas-butas. Then after your plasmablast, we have your proplasmacyte. Your proplasmacyte is 15 to 25 micrometer in size. Nucleus is round or oval and eccentric with coarse chromatin network. Nucleoli may be visible. Cytoplasm is abundant, non-granular with perinuclear zone. And the last cell class under your plasmocytic series is your plasmacyte, also known as your plasma cell. It has a size of 14 to 20 micrometer. Plus, it has the nucleus with a small oval eccentric with condensed chromatin form that may be concentrated in the periphery, creating the so-called cartwheel pattern. So again, class, if you're gonna be asked the cell with a nucleus characterized by the cartwheel pattern, appearing as a cartwheel pattern, the answer is plasma cell. Okay? Then also take note of this class, your cytoplasm ng plasma cell nyo. It has dark blue ovoid, somewhat fibrillary, non-granular, called Russell bodies. These Russell bodies, class, are secretory globules that release protein secretion. So again, class, if the question is, what do you call the cell or the ovoid bodies found in the cytoplasm of the plasma cell? The answer is your Russell bodies. Okay? Now, class, in cases na sobrang dami ni Russell bodies sa cytoplasm, your cell becomes grape or moth cell. Grape or moth cell. Any questions? Kaya pa? Na-memorize nyo na ba agad lahat? Ay. Sige, let's, muna tayo. Hinga-hinga muna tayo. Google Meet mo nga lang tayo first. Pandemic chat. Okay. Just na commercial, let's proceed. Next class, belonging again to the granulocytic series nyo class, we have your monocytic series, also known as your monoblast. Now class, si monoblast has a size of 14 to 18 micrometer. The nucleus is round or oval, thin nuclear membrane, chromatin structures similar to your myeloblast, but stains lighter. Class, again, pag tinanong kayo, what cell has a chromatin similar structure? The answer is your monoblast. Again, what cell has a chromatin similar structure with myeloblast? The answer is monoblast. It has a nucleoli, which is 1:2. The cytoplasm is moderate, basophilic, and no granulations. So after your monoblast class, we have your promonocyte. Your promonocyte has a size of 14 to 18 micrometer. The nucleus is moderately indented, thin nuclear membrane, fine and thread-like chromatin. Nucleoli can be absent or it can have one nucleoli. Plus, the cytoplasm can appear as gray-blue opaque with very fine lilac granules, appearing as azurophilic dust. So class, pag tinanong kayo, what cell in the granulocytic series has lilac granules? The answer is your promonocyte. Pero kapag tinanong kayo class, which cell in the granulocytic series has lilac granules? It's your neutrophils. Okay. Monocyte class, the last stage, we have your, it has a size of 14 to 18 micrometer. Nucleus appears indented or folded over and can be bean-shaped. Nucleoli is none or can be occasionally one. Cytoplasm is gray or gray-blue with fine dust lilac granules. Any questions? Let's proceed to the next. Okay, class, let's go to the last topic, your platelet life stages. Your platelet life stages. First, we have your megakaryoblast. Your megakaryoblast class has a 20 to 50 micrometer. It has a blue cytoplasm. It has a nucleus to cytoplasm ratio of 10:1. It has fine chromatin. Then we have your pro-megakaryocyte. Has a size of 20 to 60, less basophilic. Nucleus to cytoplasm ratio of 4:1 to 7:1. Has a coarse chromatin, irregular nucleus, slight lobulation. Then you also have your granular megakaryocyte. Then your mature megakaryocyte class. Plus, the largest cell in the bone marrow is your mature megakaryocyte. Don't forget, class, the word mature. Then, it has a nucleus to cytoplasm ratio of less than 1:1. Now, class, how are platelets produced? So, imagine nyo, class, ito si megakaryocyte. Si megakaryocyte nyo, class, puro yan cytoplasm. Kasi hindi nyo makikita si nucleus. Now, magdi-disintegrate yan, magbabakbak yan, magbabakbak into very, very, very small pieces. Magdi-disintegrate siya, class, producing what you call the platelets. Now, ang isang megakaryocyte, kapag nag-disintegrate or nag-break, it can produce 2,000 to 4,000 platelets. Then the last part is your platelet or your thrombocyte. It is 1 to 4 micrometer, light blue to purple, very granular. Then you also have your parts of the platelet class. Chromomere, granular and centrally located. Hyalomere surrounds the chromomere, non-granular, clear to light blue. Class, I have a question for this. In a normal cell, saang part ng cell nyo pwedeng i-compare si chromomere? If you're going to compare chromomere to a part of the cell, into a normal cell, which part is it? Very good, it's your nucleus. Now, your hyalomere class, how about your hyalomere? Saan nyo siya i-compare? Again, class, your chromomere, granular, centrally located. Your hyalomere surrounds the. Any questions? None? So with that, thank you. That ends the discussion.